it's Nina with Walla Stamping. This is the project that I would like to share with you today. It's just a little Easter treat. Since Easter is this month, I wanted to focus on a couple of extra Easter type treats or gift ideas over the next couple of weeks, and hopefully just inspire you to make some little goodies for your children or co-workers or friends and family. So this is a little Lent duckling, and it's just one of those little hollow pieces of chocolate, and the size of this, he's about 2 inches tall and he's about 1.5 inches wide. So this makes the perfect little small treat to give to someone. This one I have made with So Saffron cardstock for the packaging. Then I've used some old olive for the grass here, and I've used several different colors for backing the eggs. I have some silver foil for the front part of the egg that we'll be cutting out. And in here I have some Pool Party, some So Saffron, and I think that this one maybe was Tangerine Tango. I've forgotten exactly what color I used there. I've also got the So Saffron with the sentiment, and I've backed that with some Very Vanilla. And then I just have a little piece of Calypso Coral baker's twine here to add a little bow on it. So it's real simple to make. You could turn out a bunch of these in just a little bit of time. The one that I'm going to demonstrate for you today is going to be different colors, but I do have a kit put together here. I don't have the twine in there yet, so while I'm thinking of it, I'm going to go ahead and snip that and get it in the bag. But I do have a kit here. Everything is cut and ready for you to stamp and put together, and all you have to do to be entered to win is just to go over to my blog, find the post for this project, leave a comment, and you'll be entered to win this kit. So today I'm going to use different colors, like I said. For the base of the box, I'm going to be using Calypso Coral. This piece is cut to 7.5 by 2 1/4 inches. Then for the eggs, I've just grabbed some little scraps of paper here. I have Bermuda Bay, Pacific Point, and Peekaboo Peach, and some Elegant Eggplant. You can use whatever colors you like. These were just some scraps that I had that I thought that I would use to make the eggs with. You'll need a piece of old olive, and this is about 2 inches by 2 1/4 inches, and that'll be to cut out the little grassy area here. And then for the little backing here that you see, oh, actually, by the way, this designer series paper comes from the Tasty Treats, and I'll be using that in this next project too. I have an extra piece of Elegant Eggplant cut out to go behind the Tasty Treats because I really like the way these two colors look together. And this piece is cut to 2 1/8 by 1 7/8, and then I have a piece of the Tasty Treats designer series paper, and this is cut to 2 inches by 1 3/4. Then I have a scrap piece of silver foil sheet. It's about 2 3/4 inches long and about 1.5 inches or so wide. Just a scrap piece is all you need. Now I am going to be using a little product today that I actually bought off Amazon. It's called Stick It, because I'm going to be gluing this silver foil sheet to the top of my egg, and you can certainly use your multi-purpose liquid glue to do this with, but I got this the other day and I wanted to give it a try, so I'm going to show you how that works. So let me move some of these things out of the way, and we'll go ahead and get started putting this together. The first thing that you're going to want to do is grab your Simply Scored scoring tool, and you're going to grab your base of your packaging, and we're going to put that in on the 7.5 inch side. You're going to score it at 2 inches, 2 7/8, 3 3/4, and 4 5/8 inches, and that's all the scoring that you'll have to do for this. Then what you'll see here is that you have one portion over here that your first score line is further away from the end than this side. So this is going to end up being your back, and as a matter of fact, it is 2 7/8 inches from this end to the first score line. So that longer piece will be the back of your box. So what you're going to do first, you have to fold this a couple of different ways. This first piece that's the shorter score line, you're going to fold it over forward, but then all of the other score lines are going to get folded the opposite direction. So then when you put your box together, what you'll do is meet up the front and the back together and adhere that, and then you'll have a little opening like this. So this is kind of what your box, or this is what your box is going to look like once you get it together. Before we do that though, I'm going to go ahead and adhere my elegant eggplant and my DSP to the front of that. And to do that with, I'm just going to be using my fast fuse. I'm going to put a couple strips on there. And then just get that centered up within this square here. And then I will also use my fast fuse to adhere my DSP on top of that elegant eggplant. And you know, you can use whatever colors suits you to do this project. I just liked some brighter colors because it is an Easter project and I wanted it to be very bright and vibrant. Okay, so what you're going to want to do next is you're going to want to cut out the little hole for your little piece of chocolate to fit in. And what I'm going to be using to do that with is my layering ovals framelits. To cut out the hole for the little duck to fit in, I'm going to be using the very smallest piece. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my oval and I'm going to line it up left to right so that it looks even. And then the outside edge of this framelit, I'm going to line that up right there next to that score line. Now, I'm just going to put a small piece of Post-it note tape on this just to make sure that as I'm running it through my Big Shot that I don't accidentally make it shift. So then we're just going to grab our Big Shot and we're going to run this through and get it cut out. Okay, so now we've got that hole cut out. So what we're going to do next is grab our fast fuse again, and on the back side of this top panel, we're just going to flip that over, and this is where we're going to put the adhesive. And I'm just going all along the outside corners there. And then I'm going to take this portion and I'm going to bring it up and line everything up as straight as possible and then press that down. I'm also going to use my bone folder just to push over it and make sure that that adhesive has a nice strong grip. So now your box bottom is all done and ready to go. Let's go ahead and put our little chick inside. Now what you can do, and it might be a good idea, is just take a couple of glue dots and put them on the bottom of your candy just to make sure that it does not fall out of its little container. I'm just putting a couple of glue dots there. Then I'm going to slide that down inside the box. I'm going to sit it up, put him where I want him, and give him a little press. And I may even press on the bottom just to make sure that those glue dots do take a good grip there. Now something I want to show you real quick is I have created some cards here. Not that one, not that one. These are cards that I'm going to be doing a tutorial for soon. I actually have them on my blog, but something went crazy last week with my SD card in my camera, and they played fine for me. My tutorials played fine on my computer, but when I uploaded them to YouTube, for whatever reason, you could hear what I was saying, but you couldn't see what I was doing. So I'm going to have to redo that tutorial, and I may do it this week or next. But anyways, these 4 cards I have created, and this is a free tutorial that you can get with any purchase during the month of April. And also, I'm going to be giving away, if I can find them, a package of the rhinestones with any $80 purchase or more. So if you make a purchase at all with me, you'll get the free tutorial for these cards. If your purchase is $80 or more, you'll get the rhinestones and the tutorial for the cards. So I just wanted to let you know that. in case there was any items you might need. Okay, so back to our project. We have our little duck in here in his little package. What we're going to want to do next is cut the grassy area out for him. And I'm going to be using the basket builder framelits to do that with. It also coordinates with the basket bunch. I have another project or two that I have done with this set. It's really very cool. And even though it is kind of Eastery with the eggs and the bunnies, this set could be used for more than Easter. You could certainly use this basket for Mother's Day or for anything really. If you know somebody that likes to do a lot of gardening, you could cut this out of Cajun Craze or out of Cajun Craze and make it look like a terracotta pot, and then you could use the daffodil and the little flower framelits to make an arrangement inside that little pot and give it to somebody that you know that likes to do gardening. So this set is really very versatile, but today I am going to be using it for Easter. So we're going to grab this framelit here, which is the grass, and I'm going to grab my piece of old olive, and we're going to just run that through the Big Shot and get that cut out. But I will tell you, this is a little bit taller than what I want it to be on the front of my package. So I'm going to put the framelit on here, but I'm going to let it hang off the edge of the paper about 1/4 of an inch. If you forget to do that, it's not a big deal. You can just trim that little piece off after you've run it through your Big Shot. And I'm going to use my Big Shot die brush to get my paper out of this framelit. Put that away. So let me get this out of the way. Now while my Big Shot is out, let's go ahead and prepare our eggs and the other pieces that we're going to be using. So at this point I'm going to take, let me move this one more time. I'm going to take my Stick-It. I'm going to take these 3 pieces of cardstock that I'm using to make my eggs with, and this Stick-It is got adhesive on the inside, so I'm just going to pull these pieces of paper apart. It takes me just a second to get the front and the back separated. Okay, then, oopsie, I almost turned that over. I'm just going to take my papers and just lay them directly on top of the Stick-It, just like this. Then I'm just going to cut away the little excess that I'm not going to be needing. I'm going to go ahead and lay that on my Big Shot. And I've got my piece of silver foil and another piece of Stick-It, and I think what I'll do with this one is just go ahead and get it cut down to size before I stick it on the back of my paper. It'll be a little easier that way. So then you're going to stick your adhesive on the unshiny side, the back side of your silver foil. How do I know that this mistake can be made and it can accidentally be put on the shiny side? Because I did it earlier today. Felt like such a numbskull. But I bet you I won't do it again. So let's stick that there. Let me grab my basket builder framelits, and I'm going to take these 3 decorative eggs and just lay those right on top of my silver foil. And then I'm going to be using this large plain egg. Now this one you'll have to run through 3 separate times for each of your colors. But the silver foil eggs, all of those will get cut out all at one time. That booger's trying to move on me. Okay. Now that our eggs are all cut out, I have the silver foil, the eggs cut out of the cardstock, as well as our little grassy area. I'm going to go ahead and do my stamping and get this run through the Big Shot so that I can put it away and be done with it. So I'm going to be using the stamp set, the basket bunch, like I said earlier, and I'm going to be using an Easter treat for Somebunny sweet. I think that is really cute, so that's the one that I'm going to be using. I just have a couple of pieces of scrap here. This is some Whisper White. It's about 3 inches by 2 or so, and this is way larger than I need. Appropriate size would probably be about 2.5 inches long by about 1.5 to 2 inches tall. And again, I'm going to be using my layering ovals framelets. I'm going to use the next to smallest scallop circle as well as the next to smallest plain circle. Before I stamp, or before I cut that out rather, I'm going to use my old olive just because I like the fact that it coordinates with my grass. And I'm going to stamp my sentiment in there. I'm using my piercing mat to stamp on top of because your photopolymer stamps give you a much crisper image when you stamp on top of this because it has a little bit of give to it. So then I'm just going to put this on top of my sentiment and this one on top of my cardstock and run those through my Big Shot, and I'll be right back. Alright, great. We have everything cut out and ready to go. Now what I'm going to do next is these silver foil eggs are the ones that I put that stick it on the back of, and I'm just going to peel that backing paper off and select one of these cardstock eggs. If I can hang on to this one, I'm going to stick them together. Then I'm just going to do my best to line these up. Whoopsie. Let me do it this way so I can see a little bit better. Get these lined up as straight as I possibly can, and then just adhere it down, and do that to all 3 eggs. So now I've got those adhered. Let's go ahead and stick down our little grassy area. I'm just going to use my fast fuse to do that. Line that up right here along. Oops, as a matter of fact, I'm going to move some of that adhesive out of the way. Now you can certainly use your mini glue dots to do this with, but I figured since I was experimenting with the stick it, I would just go ahead and try it out on the back of this cardstock too. So I'm going to pull off that adhesive, and I'm just going to place these down just in whatever kind of little random pattern I decide to do on top of my box here. Give those a good little press. And let's see, I may just lay this one down sideways on here. Then we've got this stamped. So what I'm going to do now is use my Stampin' Dimensionals. I'm going to flip my sentiment over and put a couple on the back of that. And then stick that to my little scalloped oval here. Then I'm actually going to use a couple more of these dimensionals and put that on top of my box with it. And what you're going to want to do, or at least what I did that I liked the way that it looked, was I made it so that my sentiment stuck up off the top of my box somewhat, like that. There we go. Then the only thing left to do is just tie a piece of the Calypso Coral ribbon, or Calypso Coral Baker's twine, and attach that to the top. There. I was kind of all thumbs there for just a second. Today is not a good bow tying day for Nina. Okay, here we go. Now it's cooperating with me. There we go. I went to the gym, and today was arm day, and I feel like I've taken an earthquake pill. Whenever I lift weights and I lift really heavy, my muscles want to twitter and twitch. So to stick the baker's twine on, I'm just going to use a glue dot, stick that on there like that. Yep, it's there. And just put that up here in the corner. And I've got all kinds of different colors going on this little box. But like I said, it is your project. You can do as many colors as you like. You can make it more colorful. You can tone it down if you like, but like I said, because it is spring and because it is Easter, I wanted to stick with some yellows and oranges because of the color in the wrapping on this little duck. So I hope you enjoyed the tutorial today. A list of all of the items used in the project will be at the very end of this tutorial, as well as in a description box below the video. Also, don't forget to go over to my blog and print off your free instruction sheet for this project. A list of supplies will be listed there as well. While you're getting your free PDF, remember to sign up for Walla Stamping newsletter. It will be going out either tomorrow or the day after, and there will be a free tutorial along with that. And I would love for you to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. I appreciate you watching, and I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.